Hey guys, Mikey here. So today we're going to go over some real basic yield farming stuff. We get a lot of messages and people asking about, how to get started, what do we do, what the hell is yield farming, all this sort of stuff. I've been quite progressive over the crypto years with, first of all getting into trading, then, I built a number of different mining rigs and things like that. Was big into the ant miner stuff as well as mining Ethereum with a big rig and that sort of stuff. Then progressed into like master nodes and things, and now this yield farming thing has come about. So yield farming is pretty much the new craze at the moment, and it ties in with the DeFi market, which is all the rage in the moment in crypto. That we're getting massive hype out of all this DeFi projects, and they're all the ones that are pumping the market and all that sort of stuff. So we need to be up with the trend. We need to be up with what's happening. We need to find out how to find these new coins that are pumping. Make sure we can try and find some good projects. So probably the biggest reason why I got so interested in this was because just on Coinmarketcap, if we have a look at YFI, okay, which is yearn.finance. Okay, now this coin came out not so long ago. Okay, we're talking end of July, so 2 months ago, no, 1 month ago, July, August, yeah, just over a month ago. I was just starting to learn about this stuff when this coin came out, and I was kind of like, what the hell is this coin? Like, why is this coin worth $800 to start with? What does it do? It's obviously got a really, really, really low supply. And the way that the circulating supply was dished out was kind of like a masternode. Like you put these tokens in, you stake on a platform, and then you get this token as a reward, right? And so this money that's being generated here is basically because this project and this product has been one of the very first kind of big innovators in the space to then go and latch onto all these other coins and projects and get in the middle of everything and kind of like almost be like the foundation of all of this DeFi stuff that's going on in terms of like staking coins and that sort of thing. So this then led me to go, cool, this coin's fine. I'm obviously not going to pay this much for this coin because it's just pumped stupidly from like $800 to like 13K. I'm going to start looking for, the next ones. There's going to be copycats. There's going to be other new ones that are coming into the space. There's going to be other coins that are coming in trying to, copy what these guys have done, and that's obviously what's happening. Kind of like the ICO rush days, the IEO days. Those are sort of starting to pump again as well. So the whole market at the moment is just going spastic. Like it's just ridiculous. So this led me to look into all this stuff. So first of all, guys, what we want is, most people probably have all of this stuff. If you've been in crypto, you've been trading, you've been buying anything at all. So first of all, we want our two coins, two Coinmarketcap pages, which is coinmarketcap.com. Put the video in the link below when I upload it to YouTube. And coingecko.com is the other good one. Okay. Now, I use both of these because sometimes the coin is not on both. Sometimes it's only on one. Sometimes it's not on the other. Vice versa. So I use both of these, and the biggest, the easiest thing to make worthwhile of these is if we have a look at, say, one of the projects, that YFI one again, right? The best thing to do with this is, because a lot of these trade on decentralized exchanges, and we'll go over that in a moment. But you need to look at the Explorer, right, to copy the right contract address to make sure that you're actually buying the right token. Because again, like anything else in the crypto space, there's a crap load of like scam stuff out there. As soon as something new comes along, people try and copy paste all these different addresses into the Telegram chats and stuff like that. So you need to make sure that you're getting all of your information from the right places. And the best way to do that is from these two websites. If you find a project, go look at the project. You'll find the explorers here. You can link to these, okay? And the contract address is what you want, okay? So when it's a really new token, you need to use this contract and add it into different browsers and things manually to be able to find them. So we'll go through that in just a moment. So this is how you find the contract addresses for new coins, okay? The other thing you need is a wallet called Metamask. Okay, this is just an ERC20 token wallet. You can pretty much put anything in here. The beauty about this wallet is because it's all built on Ethereum. This is where these contract addresses come into, for example, right? If you don't have, if you don't have this token show up in your address, you can basically copy this contract address. You can go into MetaMask. You can come down the bottom. You can add token. You can go custom token, paste it in, all right, and it'll generally pop up with the symbol, the decimals and stuff. You just go next, add token. That token's added. So the good thing about that is if you then use this this address, which is up here, okay, this address is the same address for all of these coins, okay? Same address for all of these coins. So this is the address you need to be using for if you're, receiving any of these DeFi coins. This is all going to probably evolve and change over the next couple of months, but at the moment, 99% of it is built on Ethereum. So this guide will be up to date as of there's a few other new projects coming out. One called Polkadot, those sorts of things. When people start building on those platforms, we'll need to use different wallets to do different stuff. They're obviously going to be able to chop and change between each token on different networks and stuff. You're going to have middlemen coming in, being able to do both contracts and things like that. But we're not going to go too much into that in this guide. Just try to keep it as basic as possible because there is a lot to go through. So this is where you get your account from. Okay, that's how you add a token. So MetaMask. So we'll get rid of that. Telegram. I use Telegram more than Discord. You can use Discord as well. I find that Telegram, with most of these crypto projects, they seem to have more people. They seem to have, just more communication in general. So Telegram and Twitter are probably your main communication tools. Twitter's good for checking that the projects are, active. They're actively posting. They're always talking with people. Telegram, again, the same. Because we're going to have to be really careful with a lot of these new projects that are coming out. There's going to be some that just pull the rug from under you. There's going to be some dodgy ones coming out. I guarantee that. Like this space at the moment is super, super, super risky because you're basically sending your tokens to a contract address, which is, even if it's like verified, you can still have dodgy shit in a smart contract and verify the contract to prove that the dodgy shit is real. Okay, so just because a token has a verified contract, it doesn't mean that it's a legit project. You can have whatever you want in your smart contract and you can still verify it. The verification needs to be done by third parties to prove that it's either legit or not legit. Which a lot of these big ones have done, like yearn.finance, for example. The Curve.fi ones and things like that. They've had third parties, verify their contracts and that sort of thing. So, Telegram and Twitter. Okay, the next one you're going to want to bookmark as well. Again, guys, I'm going to put all of these links and shit in the video below when we're going through. Okay. The next one you want to be saving is app.uniswap.org. Okay, what this is it's a decentralized exchange for all of these shit tokens. Okay, so any shit token that doesn't even have to be listed on an exchange anymore. You can buy any token as long as someone puts up liquidity for that token on this platform. You can buy that token any token. All right, we saw a program come out the other day called Yams, and it was like fucking potato farming, like, you know, and everyone went spastic. There was like, you know, however many millions put into this contract. I did it myself. I put some money into it just to see what the hell was happening. And I'll show you guys one that I'm actually in now, which is just a complete rip-off of Yam, but they've taken out the shit that didn't work with the product. And now, you know, I've got some money staked in there, and we'll get some rewards and stuff, and then go from there. So this Uniswap is basically decentralized exchange. Now, again, back to these parts here. If you want to trade and buy these coins, whatever you want to do, if you get rewards back to your wallet and you want to sell them, for example, a lot of it has to be done manually until the developers of the platform, you know, make it easy for you. And I'll show you the difference between one that's really good and one that's kind of, you're going to have to do a lot of manual shit for yourself. Okay, so again, copy this contract. You can go into Uniswap, for example. We can go, okay, cool, I've got Ethereum in my wallet. I want to change it into, paste the token address, YFI. It goes, yep, this could be risky. Make sure you've got the right project, blah, blah, blah. I understand, okay? And you can do a swap, bang, right on here. No exchange needed, no nothing. It does it via smart contract through this platform. You have to pay gas fees, okay? You have to do Ethereum transactions on this platform. So the other part is, the good thing about Metamask is generally it will pop up and give you a decent gas price and a decent gas limit price, okay? Now, if you want this to go through faster, you obviously need to increase the gas price. And the gas limit, I generally set a little bit higher for smart contracts because it can run out of gas as well. But again, if you want to check this stuff, guys, I'm just going to reject this transaction. If you want to check it, go to fgasstation.info and you can see the recommended prices at all times. So obviously if you want it to go through straight away, which a lot of these sort of very volatile scenarios, I would call them, on Uniswap, you want it to go through fast. Okay, so you want to be using these sort of gas prices. Definitely do not want to be using a cheap transaction for it to go through. Okay, so make sure you're using the higher gas prices when you're doing swaps and stuff like that. Now, getting over to the actual staking side of things and how it works and all that sort of stuff, a really cool platform which can make it very easy for you is called Zapper.fi. Okay, so this is the main page that it will bring you to. If you've got Ethereum and shit in your wallet, it'll kind of tell you what you've got, because it makes it very easy to like invest and get into these different pools and things. So what I suggest to do on this platform specifically, because this one can allow you to do a bunch of automated stuff to make it really easy for you. So come over to the Invest tab. I recommend reading this. Okay, so make sure you come in here, click on see how it works. And you need to read all of this shit, basically. Okay, so basically what this platform does is it helps you find the best pooling opportunities on the three biggest pools, which are Uniswap, Curve, and Balancer. Okay, so these three are what this platform makes it easy to get into. All right, so you can click on one of these, for example, and you can add liquidity to this. You know, stake your funds, you receive extra whatever rewards. So there's a bunch of different options there. Make sure you're looking at what you're doing. Okay, so Curve, for example, Curve is a very popular site. You can add this sort of liquidity, okay, stake your tokens, blah, 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 and you get these rewards, okay? So the other thing to take into consideration is a lot of these platforms, might have what's called an APY, and an APY is like it's like a return on investment percentage, generally over a 12-month period. So, some of these you go, oh, well, what the hell? Like, why am I getting minus reward? Like, what's the point in that? This actual platform, depending on what liquidity would be added into there, you would then get a different type of reward. So this one, 8%, you go, cool, 8%, no worries. Chuck it in there and away we go, kind of thing. So get familiar with this platform, guys, because the Zapper platform can make it very easy. If you don't want to go chasing shitcoins like me, and you just want to invest in some of the big boys, Curve, for example, is basically this site over here, which has its own pool, and that pool is made up of 4 different stable coins. And the reason for that is so when you're adding liquidity and stuff to these other platforms, the price isn't chopping and changing, jumping all over the place. It's safe to use that kind of thing, because we'll go over what's called impermanent loss later on. And that basically means when the prices of the coins and stuff that you've got in liquidity change drastically, you can lose realized gains based on the price going up and down or whatever. So these sort of stable coins, a lot of these are based around stable coins, which are obviously meant to be pinned to $1, for example. So these sort of pools are good to get into. Curve been releasing rewards on their pools since I think the 14th it was. So that's Zapper. So we can get rid of Zapper now. I'm just going to go through these and close these off as we kind of go through, and I'll show you some examples as well. Now, Yearn, as we said before, was probably one of the bigger ones, and one of the ones that's doing really cool stuff in the platform. So previously you had like Earn here, okay. So we've got some USDT in our wallet at the moment. We can either stake through this part here, or we can go over to the vault, for example, and we can stake these other coins. Now, to get these other coins is the harder part about the whole process and getting your head around things, because some of these, for example, I mean, if you just deposit Tether, you go, cool, that's just Tether. But these other ones, which are like, Curve Y and Curve BUSD and all this other shit, you're like, what the hell is that? So it's basically these different tokens are basically what they call wrapped tokens, and that means that this Curve Y, basically a liquidity token, which is YCRV, it gives you, it's got these 4 stable coins in that, like all wrapped together into that token. And to get these tokens, when you put those things together, you get that token, and it's kind of like an IOU token almost. Like, you've got this token that then you can go and use on other platforms. So the original yield farming stuff was all about, okay, let's go find the sites that are gonna give us the highest APY. And it used to be a bit hit and miss here and there and all these different things, because what you could do was, say on this platform, for example, like let's say this is our 95% APY, right? We could go to another site who we have to stake collateral with, okay? So to borrow tokens, you need to stake collateral, which is generally 2 times whatever you can borrow, sometimes more. So if you put in, say, $100, you might be able to borrow $50 worth of token from somebody else who's put up, deposited funds to be able to be used. That's what makes it really low risk, as far as you're not really going to lose your money you put into it from someone else borrowing from you, because if they somehow lose it, they've already staked more money in that platform than what they've borrowed effectively. So it's not going to all come crumbling down type thing. The play used to be, okay, I can stake my tokens on this platform. I can get paid X percentage. I'll get a reward as we're keeping them in there, and then I can borrow money from there, and then I can go over here to this other site, and they're paying a higher percentage, so I'll deposit it there and stake it there as well. So that was kind of the original yield farming play, was like, how can I utilize all of these funds that I've got to borrow more funds to then put it somewhere else to get a higher percentage, all this sort of crap. So you see that happening less now because of all these different big pools that utilize a number of coins and these automated platforms that basically chop and change. They get trading fees, they swap it out for you. You save on a lot of gas fees and stuff. Ones like that Zapper platform, ones like this vault, for example, this yearn.finance vault, it does the same thing. It chops and changes around. So if we just go through a deposit, for example, let's just chuck $100 in here. Deposit. It'll pop up. First of all, whenever you joining one of these, you need to allow the transaction. So basically you're saying, I'm allowing this site to have access to this amount of funds. This is kind of where it gets tricky as well. A lot of them have an amount which is pretty much unlimited. You can edit the permissions and you can do a custom. So this basically just says, I'm allowing this website to be able to spend any amount of US dollar tether in my wallet at any time. Okay, that's basically what you're agreeing to. If you are a bit weird on, it could be a new platform, it could be a dodgy smart contract, could be anything. You can actually come in here, you can do a custom spend limit, and you can go, okay, well, I'm going to cap it at $1,000 because I might come in here and I might send more to it later on. Kind of think about how much you're going to be putting into a specific platform, and then set a custom spend limit. Because if let's say we only do 100, right, and then we just save it and then we deposit it and we go, okay, we want to do more again, we want to add more to it. You've then got to accept this permission again, which is another gas fee. With gas fees being so high, it's only $2.70, it's not huge, but if you are only putting in $100, that's 2.7%. So it's 2.7% fee just to accept the agreement to be able to take money from the wallet. And then you've got to do another transaction to actually deposit to the platform. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys that because this part's really important with your security on websites and platforms and contracts that you think could be dodgy. Basically, this will save your ass if you do this properly, and they can't just move your funds around if they've got some sort of backdoor in their smart contract. So this thing's pretty cool. So make sure you follow that, guys. I'll put that in the video link below as well. So we're not going to deposit. I just wanted to show you guys the approval. Okay, so that's yearn.finance vault. Curve.fi is another website kind of like yearn.finance and stuff. They've got a lot of different pools in here. I recommend getting around this website and familiarizing yourself with it. So these are the different pools. Okay, these are the different APYs, and these are the CRV reward that you can get for staking on that pool, for example. Okay, so it's not always only just about the APY, because the APY is kind of on the money that you deposit into that pool or that fund, right? So you'll actually get, so in this fund here, for example, if we added into the compound pool with these two coins, right, we would then get 6.4% on the funds that we put in, and then we'd get a reward of another coin. So it's the easiest way to describe yield farming. It's kind of like masternodes, but instead of using the same token to stake and get the same reward token back, you can use other tokens. to stake, and then you get the reward of the new coin back to your wallet, back however you want to do it. And then a lot of the time on that same platform, you can then use that same coin to stake for either another chain or another group of coins, or the same coin, for example. So I'll take you guys through that soon, because that's exactly what I'm doing on one of the other ones that I'm in. So familiarize yourself with this Curve.fi. I'll add it into the links below. This is basically another platform you can use if you want, exactly like Uniswap, and you can swap tokens in here. So let's say we've got US dollar tether, for example, 600. You know, if we wanted to get DAI, for example, which is just another coin, sometimes you need specific coins to go in specific pools or add liquidity into those pools. So you can do a transfer on here. You can see how much you're going to end up with. Let's say again, we wanted to do say 100. You're going to end up with that much DAI. Most of these coins are obviously trying to be pegged to $1. It shows you the trade route, so it's all done via smart contracts and shit. Infinite approval. You can do that if you want to be able to come back to this site and transfer more and more. Then you've got slippage down here as well. Slippage is great on shitcoins, on coins like this, where you're going from, you know, US dollar tether to like DAI. You're not going to get much slippage because there's so much of those coins in these pools that it's not going to fluctuate the price. The slippage occurs when, let's say, there's a brand new token come out. There's barely any volume or liquidity on the platform, and someone does a massive, you know, they just dump all of their tokens, for example, and it moves price a huge percentage. The slippage can, on some sites, it'll pop up and say, oh, look, you know, this is going to affect the price too much. Do you really want to do this? And blah, blah, blah. Others just won't allow you to do it at all. So you can customize that. We'll go into that a little bit more on the Uniswap side, because Uniswap is probably where you're going to be hitting those slippage amounts and stuff. So definitely familiarize yourself with Curve.fi. This is the Curve token, basically, that you get rewarded for if you're staking in some of their pools and on other platforms and stuff. So this is actually fairly new. They only launched as of 14th of August, which is a week and a half ago, for example. Their own token. So, you know, here's a breakdown of the token. Here's a breakdown of all the crap, blah blah blah. You know, again, at the end of the day, it's just another token to me. So this is where they've got their. This is their address. You know, this is where you can prove that they've got their contracts. How do you claim it? What exchange it's going to be on? All those sorts of things. Generally, all of these tokens, again. So you can come in here. So let's say YCRV or YFI token address. You know, there's the token tracker. Okay, so again, if you want to be able to get this token, which is YCRV, which is used on a lot of different platforms, you can come in here. I might even add just this this link in here, because you can come in here to the contract, right? You can copy the address. You can then go back to Uniswap. Okay, let's say you've got Ethereum in your wallet and you want to get some YCRV. You click on here, it'll drop down. You can paste this in. As you can see, I've already added this before. It'll just pop up like this. You can click the add button, so it stays in your list from then on. And then you can go, okay, well, one Ethereum, I want to swap it to that. You hit the swap button, you pay your gas transaction. You know, it's like sending Ethereum. You wait for it to confirm, and then you end up with this in your wallet. Again, if you want to add and display that amount, so you can see that I've already got it in here. You just go add token, custom token, paste it in here, saying the token's already been added, but if it wasn't, it'll pop up, token symbol, go next, and it'll add it in there. So the reason I've got this token symbol in here is because a lot of these different platforms use it. So what happens is if I end up with this back as a reward, I can then swap this. Okay, so if you want to swap swap the two around, you just click this down arrow and it'll swap them. Right, then you go, okay, let's say I've got 1,000 yDAI in my wallet and I want to swap it back to Ethereum. So it's saying insufficient balance because I don't have 1,000 in my wallet at the moment. So normally this will come up as a swap option. If you haven't swapped to the token before, like let's say Ethereum, let's just pick one of these other ones, some random token. When you hit swap and you go confirm swap, waiting for confirmation, you gotta basically do the transaction here. All right, and it says swap ETH for the exact token, so it's going to give me that many tokens. BLT, bacon lettuce tomato token. I don't even know if that's correct. Whatever it is, there's a whole bunch of tokens that are in there that are already established and already legit. If you need to add them yourself, that's what you need to do for new tokens. So we'll come back to this in soon because I'll show you guys two of the different platforms that I'm staking on at the moment. So we'll close down Curve. We'll close down the Curve token address. We don't need that anymore. So these are the two platforms that I'm currently staking on. Okay, now this one's called zzz. So zzz.finance, and this is zzz.finance is basically another one of these copy tokens who are, basically trying to latch onto this thing, but then they're trying to do some different stuff as well. So the cool thing about these guys is they've already partnered with another token to be able to then do swaps and everything with that token. They've added that to their website to be able to stake this other token on their platform, and you'll get paid out in their own token, which is cool. So this platform, as of like yesterday or the day before, this website looked completely different. There was a lot more manualization. There was none of these little links to click on to show you how to go to swap things easily. And I'll show you another example of the difference soon. So this one, for example, a lot of these better websites just make it easier. So what we've got staked in here at the moment, so I'm staking 4,490 BPT. Okay, to get BPT, I had to go here, which at the time I had to go to this site manually, put in the contract address. Goes, yep, no worries. Put in the contract address. I've got to add liquidity into this platform, so I had to add DAI into this platform. Okay, and then when I stake or add the liquidity of my DAI token, it gives me it changes it into BPT. All right, so the BPT was worth about 2.5. I don't even know if BPT is technically on here. Let's have a look in Uniswap. BPT added by user. There's no liquidity for that trade. DAI, I'm not sure if I could have just done it straight on here. 100, no. So BPT is it's a balancer protocol token, which balancer is, again, another one of these DeFi projects. Okay, so this is balancer, and then because I've added that liquidity, it gives me like this IOU token, which is used for redemption, which is then used for these other platforms to be able to stake to get other tokens. So that's where it kind of gets weird, is to get this BPT token that I need to stake to get this reward, which is ZZZ. Okay, so ZZZ at the moment is $900. The reason I went for this token was because I saw that they were working a lot on it. The token supply is lower than YFI. It's obviously basically copycat type shit. But realistically, I found it. I got in a couple of days late, which is actually quite a bit in these sort of things. If you can get in the first like 24 hours or something, you're gonna kill it. Because what ends up happening is you end up with a lot higher of the total pooled funds, and you get a lot more of the rewards. Basically, like a masternode, same sort of thing. The more masternodes who were previously on a platform would get a shared percentage pool reward based on, you know, how many tokens you had staking. It's the same thing with these yield farming things. Okay, so I'm staking that much BPT, which is 0.3% of, you know, 150k BPT, and I'm getting constant flow of rewards. So as of yesterday afternoon, I had 0. You know, it was about 2 or 3 p.m. that I set this up. I've now got 0.5 that I've staked, and I've got another 0.23. So I've got about 0.72 since yesterday afternoon. So 0.72 of that is about probably $600. All right, that's at current rates. What I'm hoping for this is obviously to go up to like 10k, 15k, whatever like YFI is, and then, you know, sell it off once we get up there. It's the same thing. So this platform offers a number of different ways to get, you know, rewards and stuff. What I'm trying to do on this one at the moment is I'm in this pool. I'm adding. So I use my BPT for zzz, which gives me this reward, which is my zzz, right? When I want to claim it back, I hit claim. It does a smart contract transaction to my Ethereum wallet, which I've used to initially put in the funds. It comes back into my wallet. I can then use it, either keep it in my wallet, or I can send it back to the platform here, which is stake zzz for this other, you know, liquidity pool, which is zzz.f Uniswap liquidity pool. So it's a pool of zzz and Ethereum basically on Uniswap. Okay, which is here. So get zzz. Again, normally you've got to come in and find all this crap by yourself. So this site has actually developed a lot of these cool little shortcuts and buttons and stuff to click that makes it very easy. When I say very easy, I mean 10 times easier than some of the other platforms, because you can literally click on stuff and it takes you to what you want to do, and then you work it out what you need to get. So this is the liquidity pool on Uniswap. This is where you can trade out your zzz back to either Ethereum, and on Uniswap there's probably going to be other pools soon for other you know, maybe USDT like Tether, or other tokens and stuff. So the reason I'm staking here now, is because on this little boosting info thing, they go, okay, cool. There's a multiplier for boosting. There's not multiplier for boosting. There's a multiplier for staking in multiple pools. So basically, if I stake, you know, one zzz, which is effectively half, because in this, if I add it into this pool, it's doubled in terms of like getting rewards. So the more I stake in this pool, the more reward I get from these coins as well, which in turn gives me more of what I'm trying to get. So it says here, you know, example will provide 5 of liquidity to this pool, which I'm doing, and it will count as 10, which gives you an extra 30% to get to 10. Now to get to 10 zzz, sorry, 5 zzz, it's about 5k. So, you know, again, I'm not going to go and buy that token. I'm farming it. You know, I'm not going to go and pour a whole shitload of money into this site just in case it tanks, or just in case the developers, you know, tank tokens and stuff. They've gone through and they've gone, oh yeah, we're doing this and that, and they've locked up tokens and all that kind of crap. the end of the day, anyone can dump any project if they get in on like the first day of these sort of things. So that's the part that you need to be wary of in these new projects. Is it's like anything else. It's like the old ICO or IEO days, right? People get the tokens first. They get it cheaper. If they end up dumping on the market, the price tanks unless there's a lot of hype behind it and people buy that and do this and do that. So it's the same thing. That's why these are extremely high risk in terms of like staking new coins is really high risk, but it can be really high reward as well. So just make sure that you're playing with realistically money that it's like trading. You're potentially going to lose it, right? So make sure that you're really careful with what you're doing. Even more so with this stuff, because if you go looking for new stuff, you've got to like manually type in smart contract addresses and shit like that to add the wallets to Metamask, for example. Like, it's pretty easy to screw it up if you're not thinking right at the time. So spend a few days getting your head around this stuff, guys. Like I've been probably looking at all this crap now and learning this for probably the last couple of weeks pretty heavily. And there's still so much that I have to learn myself. I'm also trying to do this guide. I am not an expert at this yield farming crap yet. I'm nowhere near an expert at it. There is so much to learn and so much to do that, maybe in the next couple of weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, I will be. But right now I'm trying to do this little guide to help everybody just dabble in it and get started, at least understand what you should be looking at in terms of like how to find the right information. Because when I was looking, it was, even from 2 weeks ago, the amount of information that's out now is way more than what it was, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. So these little things help tremendously get you in the right direction with your thought process and stuff like that. So hopefully it does help somebody. The next one that I'm in, which is basically like, this one is just a complete straight up gamble. There's no, it's called Grap Farmer, which is like grapes. It's like the yam thing. It's just a rip off of the yam thing, but the yam thing had issues with its coding. So what these guys have done is they've ripped out the shit coding that screwed up the other platform. They've gone, cool, let's do it. Let's rip it off. Let's create a new one. So realistically, this token could be worth absolutely nothing in coming days, weeks, whatever. But it's more, for me, it's more about the experience in doing these sorts of things than trying to make sure that I'm on top of every single little tiny project, because there's so much shit going on at the moment in the crypto market. No one is going to be on top of everything happening. People are going to be missing stuff everywhere. Don't feel bad about missing opportunity here and there. There's always going to be way more than what you can even keep up with. So this one works by basically you go, cool, my wallet, this normally pops up, you connect your MetaMask, same thing, you go accept, I'll accept this site to be able to view my wallet. Farms in this one are kind of more straightforward in terms of like, you go, okay, I've got comp token in at the moment, and I'm going to earn. So what I've done is you go and select, this is how much comp I've got staked in there, and this is how many grapes that I've earned in the last 2 or 3 days, right? So at the moment, this coin is only worth like 5 cents or something, so it's pretty, it's pretty crap. They're trying to do the development and voting and all sorts of stuff to bring out new cool stuff. So this one's a bit of fun for me. With this one, for example, if we go to like stats, it kind of shows you the percentage returns. It doesn't have dollar values in there at the moment because there's really low liquidity. So if I come down to comp, for example, which is what we've got, say one thing is worth like 5 cents. Oh, it does have dollar values in there now. It didn't have that in there a couple of hours ago. So there's a total of 3,500 comp being staked in the pool. I've got 0.56 of the percentage of the whole pool, and it's saying here's my hourly. So I'm getting 6 grapes an hour, daily 148 grapes. Weekly is 1,036. Now, these percentages are based around the dollar value of the token, right? So it's based around the dollar value of the comp versus the dollar value of the grape token. So these APY percentages, I wouldn't pay a huge percentage to, because realistically what you're doing is you're staking your coins to get these other tokens in hopes that these other tokens go up in value so you can sell them. That's realistically what you're doing, right? Or you're staking your tokens to get this other token, so then eventually you go, okay, hopefully I can use that token on another platform to stake something else to then compound my earnings, if you know what I mean. So yield farming at the moment is more so turning into more of these pools and that sort of stuff. You're not getting what was happening a month or two ago, where you kind of go, okay, I'm going to put my tokens up, I'm going to borrow a whole shitload of whatever I can. I'm going to go find another platform, put it in there for a while. If that percentage drops, I'm going to take it back out of there, then I'm going to put it in somewhere else. I'm always going to be looking for the best percentage to be getting this and that. It's not like that as much anymore. You can still do that, but the percentages are so much lower, differing between a lot of platforms because of all these pools. So it's kind of like the evolution of like how mining started, right? When you were first mining Bitcoin and stuff, you could use your CPU, for example. You could mine a bunch of Bitcoin with just a single CPU, and then as it gets more difficult, more people mining, and as it evolves, you need a GPU. You need more processing power, and then the GPU sucks. It's not worth it. So then you need an ASIC. You need more processing power to do the task, and then you can't mine them by yourself because you might be mining for like 2 weeks and then you can't get any coins. So the same thing applies with these sites. They pool funds together and you get a percentage of your pool. Okay, so it's basically like a cross between mining and masternodes. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. The only cooler thing about all of this is a lot of it is automated as far as with smart contracts and things. And even the fact that a lot of it's built on Ethereum with smart contracts, that's why you get things like this Uniswap interface popping up, because this Uniswap interface can then latch onto all of these other tokens, and it can go, okay, to be able to swap that token to the token that you want, I'm going to find the cheapest route from like here to here to here to here to here to here to here, if that's cheaper than going from here to there. So it gives you the best possible prices based on where you're trying to go from what token to another token. Now, that's kind of the gist of the whole yield farming thing. I hope that helps people a lot. So again, with the whole grape thing, for example, the difference with this was I had to go and find the smart contract for this. Now, it is on here. It is on Coinmarketcap and Coingecko now, right? But it wasn't originally. And again, if you can find the coin on here, it's much easier to go to the Explorer, one of these, and you go, cool, that's the total supply, that's the token name, all good, copy address, put it into Uniswap. Let's say we want to go from Ethereum and we want to buy some grapes. I've already added it in here. When you paste it in like this, if it's not already in the platform, come up with this little face, click add, and it's in there for good, okay? So you go, cool, I'm going to spend 1 Ethereum and I'm going to get that many grapes for that 1 Ethereum. Okay, so Uniswap is really cool. And Uniswap is being used for a lot of new coins and tokens that are coming out now as well, because it's really easy to be able to sell them on here without getting listed on exchanges and stuff. So we're starting to see this next round of shitcoins come out that, like, I've seen projects coming out that don't even have a freaking white paper or anything, and then all of a sudden there's all this volume on the token because of pure hype, because of platforms like this Uniswap thing, where they can build up all the hype in the world they want through communities and this and that, marketing and that, and then they go, cool, here's our token, buy it, there it is. They don't even have to get listed on an exchange anymore. So, it's even easier to then have them pull the rug out from under you, dump everything on people, and then just disappear. Like, I've seen a lot of coins coming out that in the last month or two that don't even have a team. They don't have people that want to show their face. They don't have any coin listed on any decent exchanges. Like, it's just all this rubbish going on again. But at the end of the day, some of these rubbish platforms have then turned into these big dollar things. So it's like it's the whole risk versus reward thing again. Do you risk your money for something that could potentially turn into a massive gain? And at the moment, the market is ripe for it, because there's so much money just floating around between project to project that things are pumping and dumping all the time. So just be very careful, guys, out there. Obviously, there's so many different new projects that are coming out. The DeFi space is all freaking hyped as shit out the ass at the moment. It's the wild west out there again. So be careful. I hope that helps a lot, guys. If you find any cool projects or new projects you want me to have a look at, chuck them in the link below, or send them to me. And yeah, I'm happy to obviously have a look at pretty much anything at the moment, but depending on what it is, I've got a certain amount of my portfolio that I'm going to be using just for all this staking play fun stuff, and then yeah, the rest will be used for just general trading stuff. So I hope that helped